So let's say that you or a loved one had such a serious workplace injury or personal injury that tomorrow when you wake up, you can never work ever again. Maybe you can't even ever get out of bed on your own power ever again. Let's say you have a spinal cord injury, or let's say you have a double amputation of both your legs. I'm talking about really serious, catastrophic, horrible injuries that I hope none of you ever go through. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your personal injury case or your workplace injury case? What does that mean for you for day to day? How are you going to make ends meet? How are you going to pay for these years and years of treatment that you're going to need? These are the kind of injuries that lead to the largest outcomes in personal injury and workplace injury cases, because in the workplace injury context, if you can't ever do your job ever again due to your injury, you're going to be on comp benefits for a very long time. If you're in the personal injury context, let's say that you worked in a factory, and maybe it's both. Let's say that you were working on some sort of piece of machinery and it's a table saw, and let's say you somehow get caught in it and something flies off and it hits you in a spot that causes your neck to break and you can't ever walk again. These are injuries I have seen happen. If you are dealing with future care of millions and millions of dollars of future care, that's why people get multi-million, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, $100 million verdicts for these types of injuries. The reason is because you're going to have to spend millions of dollars just to deal with this kind of injury. These are such serious cases that when you bring your case to trial, let's say you have a personal injury case and you are dealing with someone who lost the ability to walk. Let's say they were in a rollover car accident, and let's say that they had a seatbelt recall in that car, and if that seatbelt popped off when they were rolling over, I worked on this case actually, and they break their neck. That is a very serious case that could be worth tens of millions of dollars, not just because the person went through excruciating pain. It's because they're going to have to deal with this type of injury forever. They may need somebody to be picking them up out of bed, feeding them, doing everything for them forever. That person needs to make reasonable employment. That bills, surgeries, revision surgeries, nonstop certain kinds of food. Let's say you can't ever eat actual food, you need to have a liquid diet the rest of your life. I'm talking about the most seriously injured people. Those are the cases that, yes, are worth the most, but they are also the cases where no one would ever trade that outcome for the amount of money that they may be able to recover. There's a good chance that a person who can never walk again, maybe they can never even speak again, maybe they can never eat whole foods again, there's a good chance that that person, if there is someone responsible, let's say they were hit by a tractor trailer, they may have a $50 million case, and that person is never going to live life the same way. They would trade that money in a second to get back the ability to do what they loved to do. These are the kinds of cases that, yes, they maybe make headlines for an explosive verdict. Yes, this is the stuff that insurance companies will scream about tort reform, but nobody wants to be going through the kind of thing that someone going through these serious of injuries would go through. And in terms of talking to some sort of injury lawyer, yes, of course, talk to an injury lawyer, because you're going to have medical bills that are going to be unfathomable with these kinds of injuries. So if you do have any questions about this, God forbid you're going through something like this, I'm happy to be a resource for you, whether it happened at work, whether it happened in a personal injury situation. Feel free to reach out to myself. There will be information on this video, how you can get in touch with us, but make sure to follow for more information related to your personal injury case or workplace injury case.